Sometimes it can be a real struggle whether to eat this food or that. That food is bad, but this food is good. Maybe just one bite of that food. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's just one bite.
Oh goodness, we're so late today. So sorry. Emmas will explain later. So basically today we're focusing on keto diet. In this diet series, we're going to be looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hope you enjoy. So, first up, as always, is the body. I won't be talking through this one, we're just going to go through some pictures and some videos, and you'll see where things are, and I'll catch up with you in the next section. Well, now normally I would be introducing the lifestyle and numbers, even I've forgotten. Anyway, we're doing something a little bit different. So up first is Emily with her update, and then after, stay tuned for some fun facts about keto. Enjoy. Hi. So embarrassed at how long it's taking me to post. I almost thought about not posting and waiting until the 20th, but I thought, no, I can't do that. I'm so sorry. It's just been so hectic. I don't know if I've ever told you, but I manage 12 centers around the country. I'm in Indonesia, and we've had floods. We're going up and down, back and forth with the whole restriction situation. I've got red areas, I've got amber areas, level 3, level 4. It's just crazy. Offline, online, back offline again. So it's really bad. And then on top of that, IELTS opened up again. So I'm an IELTS examiner, and that means I'm also now working on the weekends. So I literally had no time, and I thought, no, I'm going to do this because I love this, and I just really wanted to post. So I apologize. I apologize, but I will try to stay on track. And so with that in mind, I decided to condense things. Well, not condense things, shorten things. So I haven't done the numbers, and I haven't done lifestyle, and I think I'm going to keep it like that for the 10th and the 20th. So the 10th and the 20th of every month will just be like this: body, me, and the experts. And then at the end of the month, I'll just do a bigger, a more not bigger because we don't want to extend the time, but a more detailed explanation of how the month has been, which will include numbers and the lifestyle. So I'm collecting videos, don't worry, and information, but I just wasn't able to do so. Anyway, on top of that, I have been trying to focus on organizing what I'm going to do going forward. I told you before, I think, that I've already planned out the general idea of what I'm going to do for the expert section, which is up until December, and I have, as I said before, the diet, the fitness and the wellness series. And in the diet series, which is what we're doing this week, what I want to do is on the main posts where I'm doing the update, I'm going to look at the pros and the cons and the science behind each diet, because I think it's always good to have a balanced understanding. So it's not that I'm advocating or against any particular diet. I just want to look at it more factually. And then on the experts extra section, I will look a bit deeper into the mechanics of each diet. So either tomorrow or the next day. I'm not going to promise tomorrow, but tomorrow or the next day I will post the experts extra section on keto, which will look at different types of keto. So interesting, so much information. So I hope that you will have a look at that, because I think there are elements of it that can apply to a lot of people's way of eating or their life choice. And I call it the diet series, not because I'm thinking of diet in terms of the short-term version that we have adapted, but I'm going back to the original use of the word, in terms of the lifestyle choice that you're going to make. So when I call it the diet series, I'm thinking of the lifestyle choices that I want to make, and I'm trying to use what motivates me to hopefully also inform you, because I know it's a bit geeky, but hopefully some people enjoy that as well. That'll be fine. I'm going to try and keep this short because that section is really long, because there was so much information. I just wanted to say before I leave, if you can see here, I have our team came third, because I told you before that I was in Lose Weight Sarah, the challenge for August, and our team were losing weight, and we were near the bottom, I think 7th or 6th place or something, but in the end we came third. And then I got vidIQ sent me this to congratulate me on 1,500 views, but then I checked yesterday and it's 1,800 now, and 75 subscribers. So thank you all for sticking with me. I apologize again. Please stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Good luck with your own journey. And Ems is going to introduce the expert section, and she will also be the one that says goodbye. So I will see you in 6 days. Sorry. Thank you, Emily. So in the diet series, the expert section looks at the pros and cons of different diets. We're not advocating for any particular diet. We want to look at the pros, the cons, and the science. And then in the expert extra section in a couple of days, then we will look at some of the different types and methods of these diets. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in a bit.
So my goal is to help people become their own self-experimentation, right? So I'm a huge fan of the ketogenic diet, right? I went on the Dr. Oz show talking about the benefits of keto, and I fell in love with it, to be honest with you. But it might not be for everybody. But what I tell people is be open to experimenting, whether it's a plant-based diet or paleo or keto or whatever it is. Be open to some kind of experimentation with your body, because it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. I can't just give you a diet of 2,000 calories that's 70% fat, 25% protein, 5% carbs, and then boom, it'll magically work for you. Just realizing that, what works for me or you or someone else might not work for you. That's totally fine. Let's find something else that works for you. So helping people realize that it's a journey, not a destination.
I'd like to stress that I'm neither promoting it nor discouraging people from trying it. I'm only describing it, and if you are considering it, then you should do a lot of research and decide for yourself whether it is right for you. In order to explain how the ketogenic diet works, I must first explain the basic workings of the body's metabolism. Your body has two opposing biochemical pathways promoted by the peptide hormones insulin and glucagon. Think of them as the yin and yang of your metabolism, where the goal is to balance your blood glucose levels to maintain availability of energy for your body's cells. Insulin's job is to lower blood sugar levels. It does this by promoting the uptake of glucose into cells. Glucagon's job is the opposite of insulin's. It raises blood sugar levels by promoting glycogenolysis and gluconeogenesis. When you consume carbs, they get converted into glucose, which floats around and is particularly important to brain function. Meanwhile, fat oxidation, or burning, requires the input of energy. Ketone bodies get produced by the liver when it breaks down fatty acids and deaminates amino acids in the absence of carbs and glycogen. Hence, ketone bodies are present during intense gluconeogenesis. Unlike glycerides, ketone bodies can pass the blood-brain barrier and replace glucose as the brain's energy source. In plain English, you are forcing your body to start burning your fat as its main energy source, instead of incoming carbs. This is accomplished by making one's food intake high in fat, with moderate protein and almost no carbohydrates. The body soon runs out of its preferred energy source, carbohydrates, and begins to burn fats instead. On this diet, the aim is generally for carbs to make up about 5% of macronutrient intake, while protein intake is 15 to 30%, and fat intake is the rest. It takes several days for your body to adapt to the change in macronutrient composition. Over the first few days on the keto diet, the body enters a state of ketosis, and insulin levels drop rapidly while ketone bodies increase. Many, though not all, people experience the keto flu phenomenon during this time. This is caused by the rapid loss of water that has been retained in the water along with the carbs from the previous diet. Along with this water, there is a massive loss of electrolytes, including sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Symptoms are thirst, frequent urination, fatigue, muscle cramps, and headaches, nausea, and mental fog. For many people, taking supplements or consuming pickle juice for the lost electrolytes and drinking plenty of water makes their keto flu go away faster. Another side effect of the ketogenic diet is breath smelling fruity or like nail polish, which comes from the ketone bodies, or that this side effect goes away after being on the diet for a while.
So when you first skip out on carbs, the first couple days you might experience some strong sugar cravings. That's because your body is switching gears, from burning carbohydrates to the only energy it has left, fat. Once you're burning fat regularly, you'll see those pounds start to melt away. Depending on your weight, you might lose up to 3.5 pounds within that first week. As you burn more fat, levels of insulin, the fat-storing hormone, will drop significantly. This triggers your kidneys to release large amounts of sodium into the blood. After the first month, the scales will look better, but some of that lost weight isn't actually fat, it's just water. Because some of the carbs you metabolized include glycogen, which retains water and therefore helps keep you hydrated. As a result, you're likely to pee more often, which will lower your sodium levels even more, leading to dehydration, constipation or diarrhea, and bad breath. Once you're a couple months in, you might hit the notorious keto plateau. It's a common term in the keto community. It refers to when people find it progressively harder to continue to lose more weight.
So many people out there are telling us that our lives are going to be shortened because of the keto diet. We always tend to lack the concrete data to show that it's actually good for our lifespan. And it gets us back into corners. I'm sure you've been in that situation before. And if it is safe for you long term, hopefully the evidence that I lay out based upon some pretty interesting journals is going to help you really formulate a solid opinion. Because I'm not here to push you one way or the other. I'm just here to give you the science and show you that there is some concrete evidence when it comes down to the ketogenic diet and longevity. We're going to science class a little bit, so go ahead and get your glasses on.
And very early on, I discovered that if when riding a bike for more than an hour or two, if I didn't eat when riding, I would hit the wall, which is what happens when the body runs out of carbohydrate, when it's carbohydrate dependent, and you feel really lousy and your performance drops. And so I very quickly became a carbohydrate advocate. Interestingly, at this time, 40 or so years ago, was when the Atkins diet first became popular. And Atkins said, you don't need carbs to feel well and function well. Well, I was a newly minted young doctor and I was feeling my oats, and I set out to prove Bob Atkins wrong. And guess what? Prove myself wrong. Because if you go on a ketogenic diet for a week or 2 weeks, your performance does drop. And so my experience had been only in short-term restrictions in carbs. So we did a study that lasted 6 weeks, and by the third week of the 6-week study, people's performance was coming back up. And by 6 to 12 weeks, their performance was back to or above where they'd started. The body becomes capable of burning almost all of its energy from fat. In this process, back in 1980, I coined a term nutritional ketosis and another term keto adaptation. So the first thing you have to consider when listening to someone talk about nutritional ketosis or ketogenic diets is how can you trust what they are saying? The reason is that there are a lot of self-appointed experts out there, but very few people in the medical arena have much training in nutrition, and most of them have absolutely no training or research experience in nutritional ketosis. That is, most people get their expertise by reading what other people have done. I've been studying and prescribing ketogenic diets for 40 years. The first point I want to make is that nutritional ketosis is a very powerful tool when properly done, but it's not simple. It's not just a matter of cutting out carbs. And the other point is that particularly in people that have medical conditions, it's not always safe. So my goal in presenting this information to you is to share the power of nutritional ketosis, share the fact that it can reverse and or prevent very significant medical diseases, oftentimes without or taking away the medications that are currently being used for those conditions. The other important point is that this is much more complex than just taking away sugars, bread, rice, pasta, potatoes, and other things. For a ketogenic diet to be safe, it has to be much more scripted than that. Getting the diet right in terms of the other nutrients in the diet is pretty complex, and it's not something that a simple slide or even this simple talk is going to be adequate in order to do it safely.
And then my eyes were open and my perspective was changed. And I feel like you are the combination of the books you read, the podcasts you listen to, the people you surround yourself with. And then I realized, man, there's so much more information out there that I didn't have access to until I started reading books. And the books that I've read have really taught me how much of our stories that we create in our head aren't true. And just breaking that cycle of the stories that I've told myself my entire life, I can let go of because I know they're not true, because I've kind of tested those waters. And, you know, I can't remember who said it, but we suffer 1,000 times more in our head than we do in reality.
So, not as many moving parts in these episodes, but didn't really save that much time, did it? Anyway, so we will be back in a few days with Expert Extra, and then we'll also be back on the 20th. Hopefully we can get it together by then. Don't forget to check out the extra information in the eye, as well as the links below. There's lots of useful bits. I think it's really important that you check these out. Hope you enjoyed this new format and our focus on the keto diet, and I will see you next time. Bye! Take care of yourself, stay healthy, stay happy, stay strong.